So playing at Knoxville's for the kickoff party, how was that? That was a great show.
Crazy, yeah. It was a great show for me. I flew in on Saturday, and it was the Big Valley Jamboree kickoff party,
right?
Which was awesome. We were giving away a guitar signed by Carrie Underwood, Dierks Bentley, myself. So the bar was pretty packed, to say the least, and it was a great experience. You know, there was actually a really cool story. It was my birthday, not to mention.
Happy birthday!
Gotta mention that. Thank you. Yeah, so it was kind of cool to celebrate my birthday, but during my meet and greet, actually, there was a young girl that came in, and she actually had just had her house broken into, and her guitar was stolen and a bunch of other things, like very memorable, great things to her. And so we ended up, Knoxville's and we gave her a brand new guitar to fill her empty guitar stand. So that was kind of she was crying and shaking, and it was just a really, really cool experience for me to give somebody else a gift on my birthday, you know. And the show went fantastic. Everybody was really into it. It was kind of crazy. So I'm excited to play the Big Valley Jamboree, the actual one, this Friday.
Yeah, Friday at 1 o'clock. You're upgraded. You're playing the main stage at 1 o'clock. You must be so excited for that.
I am. Jody Messina, she's been my idol my entire life, and she's playing main stage as well. So I'm excited to finally be able to share the stage with her. It's a pretty cool accolade in my career to be able to do that, and I might just hang out backstage and see if I can grab her and say hello, and I might fangirl, and I might cry and shake a little myself, so we'll see.
You're from a small town in Brooklyn, Ontario. That's near Toronto. Yes. Getting the music bug from your mom, who was, back in the day, a country singer herself.
She was, yeah. She was in a cover band. She was in a country cover band. So that's kind of how I caught the country music bug. But then, I got into my high school years, and I didn't want to be anything like my mom or my parents, of course. I rebelled a little bit, and I used to listen to the Rolling Stones and Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. So I kind of drifted away from country music a little bit. And then when I was in my later years of high school, I joined a songwriting club called SAS.
Okay.
It stands for the School Alliance of Student Songwriters, and we travel around to different schools, and we would play shows to other students and things like that, which was really neat. And they took me down to Nashville because they obviously saw something in me, a spark in me, that I really loved to write music and play music. So took me down to Nashville, allowed me to play in front of different publishers and things like that. And I came home with my first publishing deal offer, which I wasn't actually allowed to take because my parents, of course, were like, you need to finish school, you're not moving away to the States. So that actually didn't end up panning out. But after that, I really drew myself back to country music, and that's sort of where I've stood since then. And I recorded a couple songs when I got back from Nashville. I put them on MySpace, and I had a record deal. I'm really lucky. I had a record deal within 2 months of putting songs on MySpace. If you even remember what that was, it's so
many
long ago.
years ago. I think mine's still activated somewhere.
Oh, mine too. I don't even know how to get rid of that thing. I don't even know it's on there.
Again, we're joined in the studio this afternoon with Lindsay Broughton. She's playing at Big Valley Jamboree this Friday at 1 o'clock on the main stage. Lindsay, you've worked with some pretty amazing producers so far in your career. Some people working with, Rod Stewart, Kenny Chesney.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating as an artist, especially as a new artist going into the studio with these amazing producers who have worked with the best of the best, and you don't know what to expect. But, everybody in the country music industry has been so welcoming and so great to me, and it was actually a nice growing experience to work with people that have been in the business a long time and seen it all. And I think I learned a lot going into recording my next record, because obviously I'm working with a different producer this time around. So yeah, really, really awesome working with some guys in the business that really know their stuff.
You brought your guitar. Would love to hear a song.
Good. Which song would you?
What are we going to hear?
I'm going to play you a tune off my new record. I'm going to be playing it this Friday at Big Valley Jamboree. It's called Trouble With You.
It is Lindsay Broughton live at CFWE.
All right. Boy, now you got me doing cartwheels in my mind again. Boy, now you got me wearing high heels in the sand. Oh, man, jumping in the ocean in the deep end, and I can't swim, no.
sensations breathtaking. Oh, the trouble I'm in is born when we're together, sparks fly. Oh, I know better, but I can't stop. Oh, the more I fight it, yeah, the deeper I'm sinking into your eyes of blue, and that's the trouble with you. Love is a crime, baby. I'll do the time so but when we're together, sparks fly. Oh, I know better, but I can't stop. No, the more I fight it, yeah, the deeper I'm sinking into your eyes of blue. No, but when we're together, sparks fly. Oh, I know better, but I can't stop. No, the more I fight it, yeah, the deeper I'm sinking into your eyes of blue. And that's the trouble with you. The trouble with you. The trouble with you. Oh yeah, the trouble with you.
Yes, Lindsay Broughton at CFWA. Such a great song, Lindsay.
Thank you.
All right, so your plans for the summer. I mean, it's Country Music Festival, season right now. What do you have going on?
I'm a busy girl. I have obviously Big Valley Jamboree this Friday. I'm on a radio tour this week until Friday. Then I fly home to Ontario, and I have a couple shows this week, a couple charity events, and then I'm doing Boots and Hearts, which is basically the equivalent of Big Valley Jamboree in Ontario. Then I'm out. I'm down east, actually. I'm in Nova Scotia after that, doing a couple shows, and then it's CCMAs. It's Canadian Country Music Award time. So I'm in London, Ontario for that. And, in the meantime, I'm working on my new record. So no time for sleep, no time for vacation, but I like it. I love it.
Well, your debut album was called Take Me There. That did very well for you. Now you have a new song out called Don't Mix. The possible second album in the works, as you were just saying.
Yes.
I love Don't Mix. Such a great song.
Thank you. It was a kind of a funny one for me, Going forward with this next record, I really wanted to write songs that translate really well live. Making my first record, I never really thought about the live show, and I just wrote songs that felt good to me and stuff like that. But, getting on stage and playing a lot of shows and a lot of festivals, you need songs that are going to entertain people. So, I've really tried to keep that in mind writing this next record, and I wanted to also write songs that have a little bit of substance to them, so people can still relate and people can still feel things when they hear them. So I feel like We Don't Mix kind of like incorporates all of those things into one. And do you know what Tinder is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, no, I don't.
Okay, well, this song We Don't Mix is actually because of Tinder. So thank you, Tinder. A couple of my girlfriends and my guy friends, they're looking for the one right now.
Right.
So they're on Tinder surfing around, and they've been on some dates, some not so good dates and some okay dates. But one of my girlfriends came to me and she said, Lindsay, I met this guy, went on this date, and he was a great guy, great head on his shoulders, but for whatever reason, I just didn't feel the spark, and I just felt like we didn't mix. And I thought to myself, you know what, that would be a great concept for a song.
Yeah.
So I brought it into my session in Toronto. Me and the guys, we wrote it in probably an hour and a half. We recorded it. I recorded it with Jeff Dalziel, who's done a bunch of stuff with Brett Kissel recently.
Nice.
And I showed it to the label, and the label loved it, so we released it as a single, and here I am on a radio tour supporting it.
And Friday, 1 o'clock, she takes the main stage at Big Valley Jamboree. Lindsay Broughton, appreciate stopping by. So cool to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sometimes a crush is